Hello guys and welcome back to the 23rd episode in my Rebuilding Brighton series, where today we are playing in the FA Cup semi-final against Everton at Wembley Stadium. I did double check, and 2 seasons ago when we were down in the Sky Bet Championship, we did go all the way to the semi-final of the FA Cup, so this isn't unfamiliar territory, but we lost to Manchester United, so hopefully we can change that today against Everton. Since we last met up, we managed to win against Chelsea, Burnley and Everton. We drew to Chelsea and then beat Burnley and Everton. Everton win was in a 93rd minute winner against the side away from home, with Andre Anderson scoring that goal. So hopefully we can replicate that away from home at Wembley Stadium, but it is in a neutral ground, so it should be a little bit easier for us, but we do know that we can beat this Everton lineup. I also thought I'd show you guys before this game, we have got our new youth candidates, and take a look at them. They're absolutely shocking, but those are just the ones that we managed to leave for dead because we're not really looking to sign them. This was a man that we brought in as a new signing, and he looks like a fine young player, a 16-year-old player who looks like he will be a starter in the near future. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, and some great stats to go with that. I can't wait to see this guy when he's fully developed. He will be an amazing player. I also thought I'd show you before the game that I have signed a new contract with Brighton, and I think it was for another 3 years. I can't see it there. We'll go into my profile. Yes, here we can see I've got a contract until 2026, so we're going to be here for as long as we want until we get bored. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into the game against Everton. We are the favourites, and hopefully we can come away with the win. These are the lineups facing each other today. As you can see, we did make a little bit of a rotation. Unfortunately, Asensio is not fit to play today, so we have had to rotate to compensate for that. The Everton squad is quite strong, with a couple of players we might recognise. Alex Iwobi, Bernardo, Rafinha, Keane, all really good players. Bernardo is just a player that we used to have, not that good in the game, but overall, pretty solid squad. And a little bit nice to see an old face, our vice-captain back in the day, so hopefully he doesn't do anything too well up against us today in the semi-final of the FA Cup. 10 minutes gone by and we do have our first chance. We are seeming to be all over this Everton side early on, but obviously just after 10 minutes you can't really judge a game. Zinchenko on the ball, playing it back to the midfielders and now playing it, bouncing around well, and Dilson has managed to score but is offside. That is very unfortunate. Him and Fabio Luiz already have a great partnership together, both being Brazilian and both very young players. I'm not surprised. They play so well together on the pitch, and it is correlating in the tactics screen, showing that they do have a strong link between each other. That's a good sign of things to come in this game, so hopefully we can actually come away with a goal. Almost doing that there with our young winger, almost hitting it in the back of the net, coming in because Asensio is injured and also because Milosevic is injured, so a lot of rotation means that he's in the squad. Don't mind playing him though. It's a very good, promising young player, but I don't know if he quite fits in with where we are in the league right now, because we've got a lot of young wingers and he's probably not the top of the pecking order in my options right now. If we take a look at the stats, we are dominating possession 53%, and we're not really letting Everton get too many shots either. We're playing a lot better than we did up against them in the league, and we came away with the win in the league 2-1. So hopefully we replicate that here and manage to get into the FA Cup final. That would be a really good end to the season. We have 4 shots to their 1, but it is kind of quieting down a little bit now, and Everton have just hit back with another shot and have a lot more possession now. So maybe they've worked out our tactic and are countering well, but we'll have to see if any chances come from it. We do have a chance here as our young winger puts a good ball in, and Ben White heads it back across the goal, and David slides it home, sorry. And it's a great way to go into the halftime talk and that was a brilliant ball from our young winner, Ben White, heading it across, and David with the finish. That is exactly what we want to see, and that puts the pressure off as we go into halftime right now. We're going to tell the boys that we're very happy with their performance. Actually, no, we're going to tell them don't get complacent out there, because we are playing well. We are playing better than Everton, but if they score, we could easily turn like that, and we don't want that to happen in this game. This is a very important game for our season, and overall, this is a very important game for the football club. I don't know if Brighton have ever won the FA Cup. I don't know enough about the club as a whole to actually know that fact, but I will check after this game and we will find out together. I might actually bring off Skopelyak because he is looking a little bit tired. I don't actually think I have a replacement for him though, so I might have to keep him on and just live with him. Bring off Andre Anderson instead then, and Billingham can come on. Andre Anderson's been playing really well in the league lately, and overall actually, but today seems to not be his day, and Billingham, being so young, can definitely slide into that spot perfectly. We might drop down to a little bit more of a balanced mentality for the last few minutes, just in case Everton start pushing a lot more men forward. We don't want to be too positive. We want to be able to handle their pressure and break away just like this. Dilson in on goal and tries a chip from that sort of area. He should have been just blasting it into the back of the net. That is probably a sign that I should be bringing on a little bit more experience, and that experience is in the form of Mayoral as per usual. Although Dilson is a quality player, it is good to have a nice older player that knows what they're doing to just close the game out and hopefully help us come away with the win. Bailly on the ball, playing it across to White. A good partnership that they've got going on there. The player that I wanted to bring off puts a great ball in, and David heads it. Why do I keep saying David's heading it? David slides it into the back of the net, and that's exactly what we want. I think we can probably say that we are in the final of the FA Cup now. Great run. A brilliant ball. Sees that through ball on, and David has to just put it into an empty net. He can't miss from that sort of range. He's too good of a player, and we don't even need Asensio to get us over the line in this game. Maybe one more goal while we're at it would be nice. Bailly on the ball, putting a good ball in, and Fabio Luis heads it, but straight into the path of the goalkeeper, and that will probably be the end of that highlight, unless Everton are going to hit back at us. But we end up tackling the ball. We have it. Mayoral hits a shot, and the goalkeeper just scrambles it off the line, almost crossing the line there. But we do have another chance. Gosh, they're coming very fast now. Bailly on the ball, playing it to White. White playing it over to our winger. I still can't pronounce that name, but one day I'll learn. One day, not today. Sanchez on the ball, playing it back to the winger, and he is going to take a shot and hits the post, but it comes off the post and right into David's path, and David has a hat-trick in the semi-final, and our winger has another assist. I'm so happy I didn't take him off now. Maybe it was a sign that I shouldn't have taken him off as soon as I realised that we didn't have another winger. I might make one more change just for fitness reasons to make sure that we're all fresh, because we do have another game in the league, I think 4 days after this one. So overall, very happy with the performance, and I'm very excited to go into this FA Cup final. We'll be finding out who that's up against in any minute. It will probably end up being Manchester United, because I think that they were facing a quite easy side at Wembley. So we'll have to find out if they manage to create an upset. I can't remember who they were playing, but I imagine it will be up against Manchester United, who are the side that knocked us out of the FA Cup last year. So it will be a very difficult tie. But that was a great performance from the boys, and I'll tell them I'm very happy with the way that they played. And we certainly solidified our place as one of the best teams, or the best up-and-coming teams in Europe. That other FA Cup semi-final was between Manchester United and Stoke, and we are going to find out right now who we're playing in the final. Will it be Manchester United, or will we get really lucky and only have to play against Stoke? I did take a look, and the closest that Brighton have ever come to winning the FA Cup was in 1983, I believe it was, and they came second place, so hopefully we can do one better and win the cup for them. That would be a historic occasion for the team, and we're going to find out very soon who we're playing against. Here we go, finding out who we're playing against now. Surely they've played the match by now. Yes, it was Manchester United that came away with the win, but only on penalties. Gosh, it would have been amazing if that Stoke City side had been able to come away with the win. And there is confirmation of Manchester United in the final. That'll be a very close affair. I'll just double check that FA Cup thing. Yes, it was 1983 that they were the runner-up in the FA Cup, so hopefully we can do one better and win the cup. We're going to jump straight into our next game, which is against West Ham United at home. They're all the way down in 9th place, so only one spot below us. So it will be a tight affair as we continue to try and keep up our good form that has been going on for the last few months. An unchanged lineup sees us facing a West Ham side that has some pretty good players, but overall I think a pretty beatable lineup. And I think that off the back of the FA Cup semi-final win, we will be full of form and full of confidence, ready to beat this West Ham side. Despite being only 10 points behind us, they are 9th place, so only 1 point behind us, but a 10-point gap. So it does show how far away from the mid-table sides we are. We're definitely coming close to Norwich, and even by extension, Arsenal aren't too far away from us, 8 points. So we could really do a wee push for Europe near the end of this season. But obviously we'd have to start by playing very well against sides like West Ham. And with them getting shots like that, it does worry me a little bit. But early on, we can't really jump to conclusions. We are a very good side, and I'm sure we will do well against West Ham and basically any opponents we come up against lately. But it does seem like West Ham are the people that are dominating this game so far. They're playing it around quite well, and they now have a chance to run at us again. Haller on the ball, playing it back to Declan Rice, a great player in this game. Felipe Anderson running to the wing, and if they can find a player in there, which they do, they're going to go 1-0 up, just as they've done. Maybe we should drop down to a little bit more balance, because this West Ham side is playing a lot better to counter our tactically than any other side we've faced lately. So I definitely have to change it up and reconsider what I'm doing right now. Fabio Luis needs to come into it a little bit more and justify playing with that central attacking midfielder. Hopefully Dilson has a good game out as well. Otherwise Mayoral is going to come straight on. Andre Anderson playing it to David, who just got a hat-trick, and he almost... Oh my gosh, I stopped in my tracks with what I'm talking there, because Dilson missed an absolute sitter, even though that is on the volley. That is such an easy chance to put home, and he is so much better than that. But Ben White redeems the whole team with a great ball from our winger, who is playing really well right now, and an amazing cross and an easy finish for Ben White. Not an absolute star striker, but a man that is going to finish that every day of the week. He got an assist in the last game and now a goal. Maybe I should be playing him as a striker. He's doing better than Dilson right now, because best believe he would have scored the chance that Dilson missed a few minutes earlier. Bailly on the ball, playing it to Andre Anderson, and now it is Dilson's chance to redeem himself, but he can't, and the goalkeeper makes a fine save. They always try that in this game. They try and take one step to the right or the left when they're in a one-on-one situation. Normally it works quite well, but in that situation it didn't. James comes back at us, but I wasn't too worried, but maybe I should have been. Onana had it covered luckily for us, but it did end up being a one-on-one situation, just like Dilson's chance just before, and that is probably going to be the end of the West Ham attack, with Felipe Anderson straying offside. Going into the second half, it is still 1-1, and if it stays this way, it probably won't help us close the gap between our sides ahead of us, Arsenal and Norwich. If we take a look at the table down here, if we manage to get all 3 points, it would take us up to 3 points within Norwich and a game in hand. Although our game in hand is against Tottenham, it would still be nice to be able to theoretically go on the same amount of points. Not that we would go above them because of our poor goal difference. We've always struggled with that, actually. Never really had an insanely high goal difference, but always played quite well overall and gotten a lot of points. I think it is time to take Dilson off. Not having the best day out, but we all know that he can do a lot better if he really, really gets into his swing of things. And with linking up with Fabio Luis, he is definitely a very, very strong player in our squad. But Mayoral has been playing well lately, and I probably should have started him to reward that form, but sometimes he liked to mix it up and try it out with the young players just to give them a little bit of experience. Katori is on the ball for the first chance of the half. Fabio Luis trying to track down the referee there, and now we're in a good opportunity. Mayoral heads it just wide after a great cross from Zinchenko, but that is exactly what we want to be doing as we close out this game. A few more minutes, and then I think I'm probably going to make another substitution. West Ham have an opportunity from a free kick. Felipe Anderson doesn't know how to hit these, and I thought that Onana was going to do nothing about it and let it go straight into the back of the net, but luckily for us, it goes just wide of the post, and we come away with still being level in this game. Bellingham will be able to come on now. I don't know if Anderson's played too poorly, but I'm just going to rotate it a bit and give everyone a little bit of a chance to do well in this team. I might move back onto a positive mentality. I know that didn't work very well earlier in the game, but I think that we have a lot more dominance now and a little bit more of a foothold in the game, so going positive might work well for the last few minutes. Bellingham, the substitute, is coming on. David tries to have a hit, but it is blocked quite easily by the West Ham players, so we reset with White to Sanchez. Sanchez playing a long ball. Mayoral almost gets onto it, and it goes all the way back to the West Ham goalkeeper, and now it looks like it's going to be their chance. Running down the wing, Stockground, Mustafi puts a good ball in, and West Ham have scored. And that is my fault for going on to a positive mentality. I've got to go attacking now, but it doesn't look like we're going to come away with anything now. That is disappointing, and this is a game that we really should be doing a lot better in. I think Sanchez is going to come on. Sanchez is probably going to be replaced next year, actually, because I've actually taken a look at how he's been playing lately, and it's not really impressed me, to be honest. Ben White can play out in that wide midfield, wide defence sort of position, and it is very disappointing. I think that this is going to go down as the one that really ruins our form if we're not careful. Demand more and see if we can do anything in the last few seconds. That is a pretty unjust result. I think a draw would have been fair, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, and we're very happy to be in the final for the FA Cup, so we've got to take the positives out of this episode. That is the end of the episode, though. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, where we're going to be probably playing the last few games in the league against Norwich and against Arsenal, the two teams that we are chasing, so those will be very interesting games. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.